Alrighty, guys, thanks for joining me. This is your host, ID Jester. So, if you watched some of my second season football or Inside Blitz football, you might have noticed that I was using some utilities. What I'm calling utilities on my computer to actually make the different play calls and such. And so I thought I would talk about that a little bit and kind of introduce you to my new Stratomatic hockey one that I've been working on. So I think, as a YouTuber, or if you're playing, uh, any sports sim game, obviously space is of the utmost importance, especially when you're trying to broadcast things out. You've got your stat sheets out, you got your player cards out, you've got charts, you have your dice, you have your microphone, you got your camera. It's all a big process, as everyone knows if you're a YouTuber out there. And you don't have a lot of space for everything. So I was trying to condense certain things on my computer, since I do play here right next to my computer when I'm broadcasting out, to make things a little bit easier and nicer for myself to be able to play the game. And so, like I said, I was working on some second season charts, some inside blitz charts to make things a little bit easier to play, to call the plays, to call the offensive play, call the defensive play, and to make things a little bit easier myself. Now, this episode really isn't about inside blitz or second season. We're going to talk about those in another episode because a lot of people have asked me which one I favor, which one I think is more interesting, which one plays nicer, which one plays faster. And I think I want to talk about that in another episode. But just the short end of it is uh, right now, it's not really a fair comparison because uh, there are some things that you are able to do in second season with the fast action deck that you currently cannot do in second season. Second season needs to get a fast action deck. So I'm actually in the process of probably going to be creating a fast action deck for that to make it a little easier to make the play calls. Um, and like I said, second season doesn't actually come with the fast action deck. It's something you have to download, print out, and cut. So you have to go through all that time, trouble, and effort and work. But I will say the second season and Inside Blitz play very similar in that you have the same kind of structure. You're going to make a play call and either run or pass in different locations, short, medium, long, screen, or quick pass. You're going to choose a receiver to shoot it to or a running back to hand it off to. And then you're going to roll on either a chart or on the player cards to get a result. So they play very similar. And like I said, this really isn't about that. I really want to just kind of talk in general about using sports utilities to make things easier and simpler for yourself. And kind of just show you what I've done with my Stratomatic hockey. And actually, might be easier if I just show you that. So, what I ended up doing here, this started as a real easy project. I was just going to take the fast action cards and the action cards and input them into Excel so that way I can randomly roll it. But then this morphed into something a little bit more and wanted to do more with it and get it so that it does everything that I need it to do. So it is certainly a work in progress. I will mention that I am not an Excel expert by any means. Those of you out here that are Excel experts are probably can do something much easier and nicer and look better. But for me, this does everything that I need it to do. So what it does here is it takes all of the different fast action cards and inputs them into the sheet randomly. And it also takes all of the utility cards and inputs them into the sheet. It also rolls some random dice for me, keeps track of the time of the period, which period it is, which team, and the scores, and the offensive and defensive alignment for each team. And as you can see here, if I click on the activate play button, it'll actually take 40 seconds off the clock, which is what Stratomatic uses for their timing mechanism. It'll pull a random result from the different cards, and it'll roll random dice, and it'll roll a random utility for you. I've also got a button here that'll actually roll this without taking time. So if you need to like do a face-off or something, and you just need some dice rolls, you can just click on this button. You will see it'll actually randomly roll everything, but it will not adjust the time on this unless you hit the activate play button. And like I said, then you can activate a play, get your play result. We'll say we're in forecheck 2, the home team. We got opponent defensive 10, and you're going to look on that player's card to get a play result. If you want to start a new period, all you have to do is click the start new period button. It'll reset everything back to 20 minutes on the clock and ready to go for you. So it does everything I needed to do. And like I said, keeping space is on my table. Having the player cards and the charts and the fast action cards and the utility cards and the dice and the stat sheets and the cameras and the microphones, keyboards, the mice, everything all on the table. And it can turn into a process, as everyone knows. I do know that everyone out there does their own thing, which is good. And you're looking for your own niche, right? And you're trying to do the best you can. Everyone does it kind of differently. Some YouTubers out there just use pen and paper for everything. Some people use fast action cards. Some people use dice rolls for everything. And however you do it and you enjoy it, that is the best way to do it. For me, I've just spent 30 to 40 hours creating this sheet because for me, it would be easier to have some kind of assistant to be able to do this because I could actually broadcast this out on my live stream and show the players, show the viewers the different results. And it frees up a lot of space on my desktop to be able to do this. So, as you can see, it was literally hours and hours and hours and hours of inputting data, and copying. I never thought I was going to get it done because there's a lot of data on these cards that you have to input. I mean, there's a ton of data on these cards. So, as you can see, it's a mammoth undertaking to take all that data and input it into something that's usable. And like I said, I'm not an Excel expert. There's probably better ways to do it than I've done it, but there's certainly a way that this works for me, and it does a pretty good job of doing everything I needed to do. You can, of course, all the different teams are listed here, so you can have, Montreal take on the Red Wings here. I don't have it, so it's automatically color coded, but you can do things like just come over here and say, okay, well, they're red and white, and Montreal is also red and white. But we'll have Montreal be black text and Detroit being white text. That looks pretty good. Anyways, of course, you can adjust the score, 2-0, whatever. And it'll do everything I needed to do. And for me, having a utility like this it's worth the 30 hours I put into it because it'll free up some space. It'll make things a little bit easier. And that's kind of what we're looking for, right? We're looking for things to make it easier or better to play the game, right? To make it easier for you to enjoy the game and not have to do all of the hard work There are utilities out there, like say Inside Blitz does come with this nice already built utility to roll the fast action cards. So there are some utilities already out there that might make your life a little bit easier as well. And so yeah, whatever, however you choose to play is great. I just when I was working on my second season at Inside Blitz, I tried to use it on the computer and have it randomly roll for me on the play results for both the offense and the defense. And as you can see, this actually does a pretty good job of doing that as well. So if it's 1st and 10, it's going to be a short pass versus starters. And the short pass is going to go to Eric Martin. Of course, again, you have to input the actual teams and you have to input the actual players and everything into the actual Excel sheet so that when it rolls on the different charts, it can come up with the right results for you. So it is a lot of extra work. But once you have it set up and ready to go, you just hit the button. It's now 3rd down and 4. I can look under the 3rd down and 4 chart. And I can see it's a quick pass versus a nickel defense. Quick pass is going to Craig Hayward. Of course, this is set up for the Saints offense against whoever they're playing against from 1991. So I don't have this one done and completed because, obviously having little buttons to click on things makes it a little bit easier. So that's why I wanted to show off this one, because this is more of a completed project here where I can just click on this, have it adjust the time, or I can click on this and just have it roll, or I could reset everything back to square one and be ready to go. So I just thought I would show you guys what I've done and what I'm working on and get your thoughts on game utilities. Do you use any game utilities? What utilities do you use to make your streaming easier or better for yourself? Do you not enjoy utilities? Do you think they're a waste of time? You'd rather have everything on your desktop? Kind of your thoughts and opinions on game utilities, and is it worth the effort to go through and create these? Or is it better to just use what comes with the game? Or whatever. Leave your thoughts, comments, suggestions down below. I will say that, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video or not, because I've actually recorded this a couple different times, but a lot of people have asked me about Inside Blitz and second season, which one I think plays better, and which one, which one did I enjoy better? And for me, I'm going to answer that question right now. We're going to talk about it in a different video. With Inside Blitz, I did things a certain way, and I'm trying to find the best way that works for me, whether that's with fast action cards, whether it's using a utility, or whether it's using both, or whatever. And then I went through that process with second season, and I didn't get a chance to, because our Inside Blitz game ended, so I didn't get to go through that process with Inside Blitz. So right now for me, Inside Blitz and second season do about the same, very similar thing, in that you're going to get an offensive play to a certain location. You're going to do the same thing with Inside Blitz and second season. And then you're going to get a defensive alignment for that. And then you're going to either roll on a chart or you're going to roll on the player cards to get the actual play result. So they do things very similar, although, like I said, I went through the process of actually downloading the fast action deck for second season, printing out the fast action deck, cutting all the cards out, and getting that all set up. With the fast action deck, I did enjoy playing the second season that way, but I didn't use the fast action deck with Inside Blitz because they don't actually have a downloadable one. So My next project I think I'm going to be working on when I work on my little utilities here is also creating some kind of fast action deck for inside Blitz that'll make things easier and better to actually use. Basically, taking this format, which works really well, right? Works really well, where I can, get the different play results. Second down and 10. It's going to be a quick pass versus nickel defense. It's going to go to Gil Fennery and, all that. Now, is it going to be easier to use it on the computer? Or is it going to be easier to use it on, like, the fast action card on my tabletop? Also, I was also keeping stats when I was playing Inside Blitz, which slowed the game down because anytime you have to write down every single play, what happened. When I was playing second season, I started doing that, but then I went away from that because it was slowing the game down too much. And the flow of the game came much better. So if you watch those two videos, what I'm saying is, I would not discount Inside Blitz because it looks like second season plays easier and faster. I will say that I was not keeping stats with second season, which made it seem that way. And also I was using from fast action deck, which I was not able to do with Inside Blitz. I think they are two games that do things very similar, but yet they have a completely different feel to how they actually play. And like I said, I'm going to talk about that really in another video, but I just wanted to, because a lot of people have asked me about that, get my thoughts and opinions. So that's just my initial thought and opinion. I would say they're both excellent games. They both play very similar. They both have about the same footprint and time investment. If you're going to be keeping track of stats with second season and Inside Blitz. But there is a lot of things that they do differently, which makes things really interesting when it comes to the play calling. And like I said, we'll go over that in more detail in a different video. This one, I'm just kind of showing you what I've done with my Stratomatic hockey. I think it works out pretty good. I might do something similar for Apple hockey because I enjoy the Apple hockey. Is it worth it though? Is it the investment in the time? It's kind of a big debate because, like I said, this is 20 or 30 hours of input and creating this, plus, getting your line set up and everything. Inputting your player data into the sheet every time you need to play a game. So that's time you spend outside the game actually getting ready for the game. And is that worth it? It's debatable one way or the other. But anyways, I just thought I would kind of show you my new APA utility. Works pretty well for everything that I needed to do, and I think I'm going to like it a lot. Is it going to make things easier for me? Is it going to make things faster for me? I don't know. I need to try it out and test it and see if it's easier or better or not. But it seems like it works pretty good. So I just thought I would give you my thoughts and opinions on game utilities. I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on game utilities, which ones you use, which ones you don't use, whether you think they're worth the effort, not worth the effort, if there's ones out there I should be checking out, stuff like that, and kind of get a conversation started. And we'll talk about it probably in the next episode. So thank you all for coming by, listening to me, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Till then, take care.